Right, I'll finish the bandsaw for the time being anyway. It's only a relatively cheap Chinese one, but it is a 450mm, or slightly bigger than 450mm throat opening. The only issue that I encountered with this, which luckily I got him to unbox it before I bought it, so it wasn't a surprise when I got home, was this one miters to 45 degrees. The one I was looking at, which was more than double the price of this one, is a reverse miter to 45, but it'll also go to, or cut at 60 degrees this way and 45 that way. But the whole headstock pivoted. This one, when I looked at it, the only part that does pivot is the actual vise section, which didn't really do that much for me, because I thought that's alright mitering one way, but what I'm going to do is put in rolling racks either side for sliding the steel up to cut, and it'll all be fixed, permanently mounted. Well, this sort of permanently mounted, but the racks will be there permanently mounted, correct height and everything. So I began to think, how the hell do I make it miter in both directions? Oh, and the other thing, before we get onto that, the other slight little modification I had to do was fit up a bit of 2-inch RHS to attach the swarf tray to, because there was not a hope in hell that if you slid that onto there that it was going to catch the chips from under the blade. So anyway, first thing I did was make a new rear jaw. I didn't fancy cutting the old one up because it only went to 45 degrees. So I wanted one that was going to do 90 degrees, so it could either that way or that way, which it couldn't do that way before. You could only miter to 45 that way. Now I also tapped and drilled a hole there, because to get this to miter to 45 degrees, what I have to do is take that out, and then it's easier from this side. That bolt, cap head bolt there, goes in there, and I've got another cap head bolt that goes in there that fits into the there. Even though you can't slew it, it's when they're in that position that gets this to 45. That gives me just enough clearance by doing that I can clear the hose here. Just had to put a cable tie around there just to hold it in exactly the right spot. But the issue still remained, how do you make it slew when you've got it in a rolling rack, so that you can still use the steel rack for cutting. So I made up a frame with a 900mm slewing ring, and now I can turn the entire machine. I might grab it there. that is at about 45 degrees for this way, so that when you move that vise to there and that to there, you've got your 45 degrees and you can still use your rolling rack. And similarly, on 7/8 bolt, 3 nuts, so I can lock it in position so it doesn't move while you're doing all of that. That's your fixed 90-degree position, and that one there is your reverse, or your normal lighter position there. So that locks that in position, and then you just do your normal 45-degree mitre there. Adjustable feet. It's on a 6x4 frame so that I can pick it up with the pellet forks and take it home if I need to. So yeah, rolling racks can obviously sit in here a bit, being the height they will. I don't have to worry about that. I can just have the bed coming to about there, or around about that position, with your rollers, which will be plenty either side. So that's how that now officially works. The only thing that I did crap myself about this morning was where I've got it bolted onto the actual frame. I was just a little bit worried when I was putting it all together that that bolt, you can see it must be within a bee's dick of catching on here, which at worst case I would have countersunk, drilled under there and just put countersunk bloody 2 cap head countersunk, or not cap head, but 2 Allen key countersunk bolts in there if that was the worst case scenario. But as it stands, they are not needed. It magically just fitted in. Sometimes you have tiny victories, and that was one of them. So yes, so that's how you make a half price reverse miter slewing machine.